boy. Welcome back to MAPOP Sports. This is Grandy. If this is your first time here, welcome. Appreciate you guys checking out the channel, checking out this video. If you guys are returning, welcome back, guys. Appreciate you guys too. Hopefully everybody's having a good week. Happy Friday, fun Friday and everything. I know NBA playoffs is kicking off really well. Super excited to see the rest of the games this weekend. And then I'm just kind of appreciating the NBA and what it's doing to the sports card. We'll talk about that tomorrow or this weekend when I do my video this weekend, what's been selling at the store. It's been a good week for me. I don't know about you guys, but it's been a really good week. I think the playoffs and everything has really helped basketball and stuff, but we'll jump into that in that other video. But today, definitely want to do a Q&A today. I'll try not to make it too long. There was a lot of questions. If I don't get to everything this week, definitely next week I'll try and get to whoever's questions as much as possible. It's just been a lot of questions, obviously, so which is a good thing. That means you guys just have questions just like myself, and just hopefully you're learning alongside with me in a sense. So here we go. Number one. Somebody asked me why, there was a card I graded. I think it was Anthony Edwards. They got like a PSA 8, and then they're like, why would I regrade that? Why would I crack and resubmit? And I told him that the reason being is because if you don't know Anthony Edwards cards right now, go look at a PSA 8 versus a PSA 9. Would I get a 9? I don't know. Did I crack and regrade it? I actually did not. I was considering it. I was definitely considering it because the prices of it completely doubled. So that's why people are wondering, why would you, crack and resubmit a card? Centering is awful. If you can even just possibly get one grade up, and PSA is notorious for being very flexible when it comes to centering, as we all know. And if I can get a 9 and literally double my value of the card, that's the reason being. So just to kind of give you guys a heads up of my thinking on that. I actually moved the card because right now Anthony Edwards, if you can move his card, move it right now, guys. His shit has gone through the roof. So I wouldn't be holding that bag, and the reason being is because I already know what's going to happen. Even if he wins the championship, guys, you guys already know what happens. The value drops. So if you're going to move it, this is the perfect time to move any Anthony Edwards cards, at least in my opinion, guys. So someone asked me, why was I looking at the slab sideways? What am I looking for? It depends on the grade of the card. If it got like an 8 or a 9, I'm looking at the side to be, to see if I can see surface issues. If you use the light and the angles, you can kind of see if there's a surface issue for it to get like a specific grade number. You can see if there's any, if you're looking at the, I guess you can say if you're looking at it in an angle, you can see if there's a bent or a crease that you may have missed. And that happens all the time. So that's why when I'm looking at the slab sideways for whatever grade I get, that's what I'm looking for, is just kind of seeing did I miss something? Did I miss a surface issue? Did I miss a crease? Did I miss a bend or ding? And you can see it a little bit better at certain angles when you're looking at the side. So that's what I was doing on that. How do I check the card before submitting, my techniques and everything? Because everybody seems like, why are you so surprised you got a bad grade? Some of these cards that I submit, because I submit so much, I am surprised. I wouldn't submit it if I think I was going to get anything lower than an 8 or a 9, honestly. So when I do get grades that are that low, like let's just say I've received some low cards that are 6, 7, and I missed them, and I went back and I re-looked at some of those cards. Were there dings that I may have missed, or there was a bend, or there's a crease, a mini bend that you don't really see at certain angles? Yeah, there was. So it was my fault. Or if they got damage on a transport, which could have happened, who knows? But that is the, I usually go through, like I said, I have a magnifying glass. I kind of just comb through. I look at the surface, make sure there's no surface issues. Centering in reality, you can eyeball it. Yes, there's specific programs, there's specific things you can purchase. You can do it yourself, but primarily centering, you can pretty much tell on a lot of these cards if it's off-centered. But primarily what I'm looking for is, when I use my magnifying glass, is the corners, making sure everything is okay on that, they're sharp, making sure that the biggest thing that I've noticed that my issue is, and I got to fix that, is because I'm missing specific indentions. So a lot of my cards that I've noticed that I've gotten a bad grade on or whatever, there's like little dimples that I may have missed and indentions that I missed. So those are the things that I need to clean up myself. I'll be the first to tell you guys that on, to let anybody know on that. But for anybody to be on their freaking high horse to say they're perfect 10s all the time that they get it, let me see your freaking video. Let me see that, because that's bullshit. I'm telling you guys, nobody's going to submit and get 10s all the time. Not every single one, not 100%. It's just, it goes, my thoughts are, as long as you get more 10s than anything else, and if you can get a 50 to 60% gem rate, gem mint rate, I'm happy with. I mean, I'll be honest with you. If I can get 50 or 60% 10s, and then the rest 9s, 8s, whatever, to kind of cover, the cost and everything, I'm okay with. That's just my personal opinion. If you're so perfect, that's a pat on the back, buddy. I'm just gonna let you guys know on that. Let me see. How do I list cards faster than what they are currently doing? So somebody was asking me, how do I list cards so fast? How do they get faster? It seems to be tedious, takes time and everything to list cards. You're right. Okay, so this is number one. I have a scanner. I think this will answer somebody else's other questions too, because everybody always asks me about scanners. I'm going to retouch it again. I do have a scanner. It's a Fujitsu FI 8170, I believe, 8170. Yes. So that's the scanner I currently use. And when I'm using low-end cards, anything that are under $10, $15, $20 to the dollar range, I definitely use the scanner, and then I'm able to list it with Chrono Cards. Chrono Cards, it's the application I use, and that's able to list quickly, update fast. It's a spreadsheet format, so I'm able to do that quickly. Now, when it comes to like thicker cards, patch cards, or slabs, things like that, that's going to take some time. It is what it is. There is no fast way to list those quickly. People keep asking me, how do I list the, thicker cards or slabs faster? You really can't. It is, that's just the way, that's the nature of the beast. You can search your card when you're listing it. You can search that specific card, and then you just add your attributes to it, your descriptions, all that stuff to it. But that's about it. Unless you guys know a faster way, if there's a scanner that can just scan, slabs one after another, let me know. Other than that, there are scans where you can scan a picture of your slabs, whatever, but it's the same thing as taking a picture and listing it off your phone, in my opinion. So there is no fast way to do those. Low-end cards, scanners, the fastest way to list on eBay or anything else. But other than that, it just takes time, guys. And everybody's like, how do I list so much? Guys, I'm doing this full time. I'm not doing this part time anymore. I used to do this part time. I used to be like a lot of you guys who have a full time 9 to 5, and then you can only do a certain amount when you're at home, especially if you have kids and family and all that stuff. You're not able to list as fast as much as I can. If I'm doing this full time, that's it. You have to understand that. So I'm okay with spending my time every minute, every hour listing these cards. It's just part of the gig. It's part of my job now. So you have to understand, that's why I'm able to list more and more cards. I'm trying to get faster and better, obviously. Whatever, process, if you guys have to improve, let me know for sure on that. But other than that, like I said, there is no shortcut. It's just time consuming. It's a job, guys. What cards to grade? How do I decide? How do I even make money on this shit? Because everybody's like, you grade super low end cards, why don't you use high end cards? So if you have not followed me since the beginning, I know there's a lot of new subscribers or viewers and everything like that. I don't go super high end because, number one, I can't afford it. I just can't. I can't do the risk. I understand I can buy a $50, $100 card, grade it, and there's a possibility it can come back a $500, $600, $700 card or a $1,000 card. I totally understand that. But I can't justify buying 10, $100 cards for $1,000 and then possibly not getting that return, or possibly sitting, it may not sell, possibly those guys can tear an ACL or whatever the case may be, and the card can just plummet and I'm screwed. Okay, I can't do that risk because, like I just said, I have a family and everything to work, and I'm doing this, like I just said, in bulk and in small mid portions. I'm more in the mid game right now. I've transitioned into that area around, anywhere between the $10 to $50 to $60 card. Usually I can go about $10 to $50, $20 card to try and get graded. Now, Everybody's asking, how can you make money on these low-end cards that you're buying for super cheap? You're being really cheap. Okay, first of all, I'm getting a lot of these cards in bulk. I understand. I have cards that I like, Anthony Richardson or CJ Stroud. I have their base cards. However, why didn't I get them graded? Because number one, may have issues on the corners, may have issues on the centering, whatever. It wouldn't have made sense for me to grade specific cards. There's a reason behind that. I get those cards. I just wanted to let you guys know there's specific ones that I choose. And then obviously lately I've been choosing some wrong ones, but it is what it is. However, some of these cards, you have to understand that when I'm getting in the lot, when you break it down, I'm literally getting these cards maybe for pennies, cents, I don't know, whatever the case may be if you break it down. But I don't break it down per card, just to give you guys a heads up. I just buy whatever inventory. This is what I spend, okay? So let's just say I buy $1,000 card lot. That's it. Whatever, how many cards. It may be like 20,000 cards. Who knows? Whatever the case may be. I don't care how many cards are. I just spent $1,000 on inventory. That's how I look at it. Then my grading fee. I estimate. I try to be my grading fees anywhere between about the $400 to $700 range a week. So I try to be around there. That currently, I'm looking to scale up, obviously, but I want to be around there. That's where I kind of budget myself around the $400 to $700 a week on that. That's it. I don't care whatever card it is. Then whatever card I take and then I get back, like I just said, some people are like, how can you make money? You spend blah, blah, blah on this. I don't look at it that way, guys. Some of these cards come back and I can sell them at $60, $70, $100, okay, once they get graded. So the profit margin is quite there. Some of these cards come back and they're shit. Yes, I understand the grade, and I could sell it for maybe $5 to $10 to $15. Is what it is. You accept that loss. But you have to understand that you have more wins than losses. I have to have more wins than losses, and that's how I calculate it. So this is how I work it out. I spend, let's just say, $1,000 this week on inventory. I spend another $500 on grading fees. That's $1,500, all right? So I spend maybe this week on, okay? And then now what happens is, how much do I sell on a daily basis? Let's just say I sell, whatever the case may be, my numbers should be, let's just go with $300 a day, whatever the case may be, the gross revenue. So if you take 3 times 7 days on average, okay? Let's just say you're selling $300 on average. So 3 times 7 days a week, $2,100. So you minus that $1,500, so you got $600 profit. That's how I calculate, and that's how I look at it. I'm just throwing you guys numbers. I'm not saying those are my numbers, but that's how I work it. I could care less about anything else on one specific card. If I broke it down to one specific card, I would go nuts. The value of that one card, it would drive me insane, because then you will always hold to that card because you're thinking it's going to be more valuable than it truly really is. So the way I do it is that's numbers out, numbers coming in. As long as the numbers coming in beat the numbers going out. That's how I calculate. That's how I work it. Now, keep in mind, if you've never been in, I've been in sales for 20 plus years. You have to understand, for profit margin wise on when it comes to sales, if you can hit on a normal business, if you can hit about 10% profit margin on your sales. So when I say 10% is, let's just say you buy something for $1 and you sell it for $1.10. You got 10% profit. You got 10% more than $1, okay? On a normal company, normal business, if you can do 10% profit sales, you're doing good. You're not doing great, you're doing good. Anything above that, if you can get up to 20%, you're doing great. If you're anywhere between the 5 to 10% range, you're struggling a little bit. Now, what did I just say? If you can get a card that you spent maybe $15, $20 and you can sell it for $60, you do the math on that, okay, guys? That's literally 5 times X profitable margin on that, which can cover those crappy cards that I got. So that's how I can make money. That's how I work it out when it comes to the grading side. Now, you're not also taking, for instance, the icing on the cake that I've said previously. All the 20,000 card lot, all those other cards do sell for maybe $1, $2. They're low end. That's why I have the scanner. That's why I call this icing on the cake. So let's just say I have those 20,000 cards. Maybe I sell 1,000 cards for $1. That's literally $1,000. That's icing on the cake on top of the graded card. So it all comes down to, so that's why I don't calculate everything in regards to specific cards. I calculate what goes out and what comes in. So hopefully that explains to you guys a little bit how I'm able to do this, why I want to scale this up. If I keep scaling this up, not only do those numbers grow, I'm able to keep this sustainable and possibly branch out more. And that's what I'm trying to work on and trying to do right now. I'm not trying to be, oh my God, this card literally just cost me $2 because it was $20 a grade and I only sold it for $18, blah, blah, blah. I'm not worried about that at all. If I sell it for 18 bucks, great. Move it, get it out of the way. It covers at least a portion of that cost. I'll sell the next card for $100 and I just doubled my profit. You know what I'm saying? It covers that end on that end. So that's how I look at it and that's how I'm doing it. Is it currently working? Yeah. So I'm going to keep on doing that until I need to change something. So that's just to give you guys a heads up on that. Somebody asked, Brady rookie cards is, right now his cards have kind of tamed down. Is it a long-term hold or whatever? Look, guys, I don't look at sports card as investing. I think I told you guys this before. I don't believe sports card is a viable investment in my eyes. It's very subjective and everything. You're, like I always say, you're better off putting money into the stock market, the S&P 500. At least that's guaranteed to give you guys returns no matter what. At least it's shown over time, over the years. Okay, sports cards is very subjective. It's only valuable to whoever. So I wouldn't invest in any sports card. I do this as a hobby and I enjoy it. I'm not looking to get rich off of it. I'm looking to do this full time for these cards so I can put food on the table for me and my family. That's it. I'm not looking at this to invest long-term at all. If you guys are wondering, all my PC stuff, that's my personal collection. It's not my investment collection. That's why it's called a PC, not called an IC. So just to give you a heads up. So is Brady a long-term hold? Up to you on that. I'm not going to tell you to go out and do that. I did purchase one of his rookie cards and, just to have as a PC. I like some of his stuff, so it is what it is. So just to give you guys a heads up on that. Last but not least, so trying to not make this video so damn long. Sorry, guys. ESC. So the eBay standard envelope system, people are asking me how has it been working? Has it been good? What are my thoughts on it and all that? So this is just to let everybody know. So ESC is cheap. It keeps the shipping cheap for my buyers. I usually use this for any card, obviously under $20. That's when you can only use ESC is if it's under $20. Is it worth? I'm okay with it. I send whatever. People are asking me, so the USPS, if they don't scan it, because if you pay the 3-ounce fee, which is like $1.12 or something, that's the one where they're supposed to manhandle it and they're not supposed to machine it, supposedly, the USPS. If you tell them, if you write on that, hopefully they don't machine it because it can't be bent. Those cards actually don't get scanned in, so there's no real tracking or tracing on eBay on that. So he doesn't really show you delivering all stuff. So if people have been asking me, like, have you noticed an increase of people saying, hey, I didn't get my card? I'm trusting a lot of these buyers don't do that and don't abuse the system. It is what it is. It's just part of business, guys. If you're just going to sell low end, which I do sell some low end stuff, and you will get those people who are just, I hate to say, the scum of the earth, and they will try and scam you and be like, I didn't receive my stuff and I need a refund. It happens, but keep in mind that's why it's called the low end stuff. The other stuff that, if you do get scanned in, I haven't seen an increase on that, knock on wood. But the other stuff that does get scanned in, just the regular, I think it's like 64 cents, whatever, when it gets scanned in. I think eBay does track it. It does get tracked when it gets delivered some of the times. Like I said, it's about 60% hit rate of the USPS delivering. I haven't had a huge increase of people saying I haven't received my stuff, knock on wood. I would say out of maybe, let's just say 200-300 orders, I might get one saying that they didn't receive their stuff. So that's way less than 1%, guys. So if you're wondering what are my percentages, I would say about every 200 to 300 orders, I might get one. I said might. Sometimes I might get two, but at the end of the day, it's less than 1%. That's if you guys are wondering, like, percentage wise, how often do I get people who don't receive their stuff? It's less than 1%. USPS has been pretty good, and that's a pretty good number to have, that if less than 1% of your packages gets lost, especially when you're shipping out tons and tons of, orders, is not horribly bad. And like I just said, they're lower end cards, so it's not a huge thing you have to cover and refund on that. So there you guys go. Hopefully that helps you guys a little bit. Sorry this video is super long. I just want to answer some of your questions. I still have more to answer. Hopefully next week I'll be able to jump on some more answers on that and give you guys some answers on some of your guys' questions. And and remember, this is just all through my experience and just my thoughts. Take it for what it is. I always tell you guys, take everything I say or my experience as a grain of salt, because your experience or expectations might be different than mine. So there you guys go, man. Other than that, if you guys like this stuff, feel free to subscribe. Don't forget, I will be doing a video of what sold this week, probably sometime this weekend. We'll see on that. Don't forget, check out the eBay store. I put the link in the description. I try to list hundreds of cards every day, slabs, low end stuff, mid end stuff. So make sure every little bit helps. Make sure, just send me an offer, guys. I will respond to you guys as soon as I can on that. So other than that, man, have a great rest of the weekend. Till next time.